Hi, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and I want to share with you my top 20 organizing products updated for 2026. Now, over the years, with my love of organizing plus testing so many products for this channel, I've tested hundreds, if not thousands of products, and just a few have stood the test of time and earned a permanent spot in my home. We're gonna go in order of least favorite to most favorite with the top 20, but if you want 20 more picks, go ahead and click the link down below. I will send you completely free my guide for the best organizing products. It'll have all 40, tons of pictures, links, everything you need in one handy spot. These clip-on labels are super versatile. I use them absolutely everywhere. They're also super cheap. They were actually designed to be dry erase labels, so you could write on them with a dry erase marker and erase them. Most of the time, I prefer to cut out pretty looking vinyl labels with my Cricut Joy or something like that and apply them to the label, but you totally could just go ahead and write on them with dry erase, and they fit on almost everything super easy. I've had this beautiful framed hanging earring organizer for probably years, and I love it because it looks so beautiful. You can hang it in your closet, or if you don't have a lot of space to hang things in your closet and you need to put it in a bedroom, it still looks beautiful. I also love that I do not have to take the backings off the earrings in order to put them in. I can just slide them right in. These plastic envelopes have been a long time favorite, and I can use them for everything from organizing different craft supplies to organizing papers, kids' papers. I love that they have a snap, so they're very secure, and you can also label up in the upper right corner and kind of file through them. I also have an entire video devoted to how I use these. If you're interested in that, click the link below. Before I got this item, all of my pans and cooling racks were just stacked up in the cabinet, and it was really hard to get to the one on the bottom. This Eucopia horizontal pan storage totally solved that problem, and now I kind of file them in the slots, so it's really easy to grab out exactly what I need. And I love that they're adjustable, so if you have different thicknesses of pans or cooling racks and things, it'll work perfectly for that as well. I truly love the entire home edit line of organizing products from Walmart. I do have an entire video where I review a ton of different products, and a lot of them are these clear acrylic bins, and I use the 10 by 10 all the time. I use it in my kitchen, closets, kid stuff, all different spaces, and it's great as a standalone, but they also make inserts that were specifically designed to fit in it. So if you need to micro-organize stuff within a bin, but you still want it to match all the other bins, this is absolutely perfect for that. I've done a lot of kids stuff, crafting stuff, things like that in these bins. Another longtime favorite are these divided Lazy Susans. First of all, they glide very nicely. Secondly, I love how tall the sides are, so things aren't gonna fall out, and I can put smaller things like dishwasher pods or something in there without them falling out. And the divisions are nice to keep things contained, so I've done things like under sinks. I've put like doll accessories for my daughter in there. I have put my nail supplies, like polishes in one and files in one section. I've also done candy, food, granola bars, cords, office. There are so many uses for these, so once you have them, I guarantee you'll find a place to use them. I also have an entire video on all the different ways you can use these. I'll link that down below for you. Now, those divided Lazy Susans are not the only ones that I use. I also have these larger flat Lazy Susans. They're a completely different brand and style that I use all the time. I especially use these in corner either cabinets or shelves in the pantry. It's really hard to make good use of that space and be able to get to everything, but when you put a Lazy Susan like this on here, you can just roll it and you can actually see everything that you have. I love these because they roll very nicely, which is really important, even when there's a lot of heavy jars and things on there. And there's a grippy surface to the bottom and a very small lip so that things do not slide around as much. Pretty much any household can use large clear plastic tote bins. I use these Rubbermaid bins. Now, I will say, while I absolutely love these, I haven't done extensive testing of every single type of tote bin out there. I think the key here is just to get a large bin that you like and then buy all matching so that everything goes together well. I do like these, number one, because I can go to a local store and buy them. It's really important to me that I be able to buy more easily when I need them. And secondly, I like how the handles latch up over the lids, so I feel that the lids are on there pretty securely. We've used these basement storage room, garage to keep seasonal decor and just random junk that we want to save. This makeup caddy is a newer favorite only because it only recently came into existence. So this is a makeup caddy that has one handle so that I like to store it in my drawer and then I can easily grab it and put it on top of my counter, do all my makeup, be putting things away as I go, and then I just have one handle to grab and put it away. I love that it's thought of everything. So every single bit of makeup I own fits nicely in here. It's also a little bit modular. There's some inserts I can take out if I have something larger to store. It's been a game changer for storing makeup. This is one of the newest additions to my favorites. I got these recently for a video review that I was doing. I originally found these on TikTok of all places, and I wasn't necessarily expecting to love them, but I really wanted to try them out for the video because they went totally viral on there, and I was blown away. I will link to the video below when it's available, but I was totally blown away by these. First of all, they are so cheap. Secondly, they're very sturdy. They get the job done well. And what really blew me away is they have these little rubber feet that come with them that you put on there, and they actually don't slide. I have had so many different types of drawer organizers where they claim that they don't slide, but they really do. These, even when empty, aren't going anywhere. So I absolutely love them. All right, we're halfway there. I'm gonna be sharing my absolute top 10 favorite organizing finds next. Before I do that, make sure you click the link down below and get the best products for organizing guide. It's completely free. It has all 20 items I'm talking about today, plus 20 additional items that I love, and it's packed with links and photos and everything you'll need in one handy spot. I'm actually putting the Kallax shelves here in my favorite organizing products. That might surprise you, but when it comes to organizing, the type of shelf you have is really, really critical. And the thing that I love about these Kallax shelves, besides the fact that they come in every configuration imaginable, 4x4, 2x2, 5x5, 3x1, everything you can imagine, they also are incredibly deep. And it's a perfect cube. So the depth, the height, and the width of every cube is exactly the same. Deep shelves are really important because if you get shallow shelves, you cannot put things like the multi-purpose bins, and a lot of bins will hang off the front, which really bugs me. So the depth is amazing. There's also built-in divisions there with all the divisions, and there are a ton of products you can find that fit them perfectly. In addition to that, I highly recommend IKEA's inserts that they make for the shelf. So they have this cabinet insert and they also have the drawer insert. These are amazing. We use them in both of my kids' rooms. The drawers are actually really good. They glide really nicely. They hide all the clutter, and we absolutely love them. I've used these slim velvet gray hangers for many years. I get them off of Amazon and they're actually really affordable, and I have not had a single problem with them. None of the felt has come off. They've been very sturdy. Nothing's ever broken. And if all you do to your closet is change to matching hangers, it looks so much better. Because they are slim, it doesn't take up as much bulk in your closet and you can fit more clothes in there. Also, it helps keep the clothes from sliding right off because there's velvet and there's also a tiny little notch if you have some kind of straps that you're afraid are gonna fall off the hanger. All right, this is probably gonna really surprise you that I'm putting this in an organizing favorites video, but freezer tape with a Sharpie is one of my organizing best friends. I use this all the time. So I'll just take a little piece of freezer tape. First of all, no scissors needed. It just rips right off, stick it on the item, write on it really sloppy with a Sharpie, and that gives me excellent temporary labels. I will also say sometimes my temporary labels, like for example on my spices, might live there for 2 years before I get around to making the matching spice labels because it's not a high priority. So having something that can really quick and easily temporarily label things is really important. Also, it will remove from almost any surface with no damage, so I don't have to worry about that. I really cannot say enough good about Command hooks. I have used Command products for years and years and years, starting when I was in college, for everything under the sun, from hanging posters, hanging pictures, hooks, all the things. And hooks are so useful for organizing and for maximizing space. So I have some behind my pantry door to hang aprons. I have some on the back of my kids' closet door so they can hang their robe and their towel. I have the really sturdy ones in our entryway so the kids can hang their backpacks, because before that, let me tell you, the spot for them was either literally on the couch, the very middle of the floor, on top of the kitchen island where we needed to cook. And having a hook for things is so easy and such a game changer. And I will tell you that I have never had a single one of these command hooks fall. They can also be removed without damage, and you can reuse them as long as you get the backing again. Now, there is a trick to how you remove these. You'll want to pull straight down rather than pulling out when you remove those, and it will be able to be removed with no damage to your walls. If you've been around here a while, I'm sure you've heard me talk about these, but photo boxes are something that I actually use for basically everything but photos. There are so many things that fit perfectly in here. They come in 4x6 or 5x7 sizes. You can line them up, put labels on the top. I have them in drawers, baskets. You can put things like pins, pencils, art supplies, stickers, card games, all sorts of things in these. I also have an entire video showing all the different ways that I've used these, so I'll link to that down below for you. These have definitely been a longtime favorite of mine, but they've moved way up the list recently since I started using them a lot more, and since I discovered that they actually come in many different sizes. So I call these bead boxes. It's a similar concept to the photo boxes where they latch closed and the lid is attached. However, they are a lot smaller and you can get really specific sizes. And I use these in my drawer to organize all of my cords, and it works amazing for those little tiny cords. And this was the game changer when I realized that I could get them slightly, the ones that I had were too tall for the drawer, so I couldn't actually put them in the drawer. When I got them just a little bit shorter, they fit perfectly. And even little gadgets like keys, loose change, those little temporary tattoos that the kids get, little stickers. There's so many of those little teeny tiny items that you can just put in one of these and store nicely. I also like to use them when I travel for putting jewelry. I have one with my little, what do you call those? The little teeth flosser pick things, all those different kinds of things. This one was not even on my top favorites list until recently because I just got it maybe about a year ago. And I absolutely love this charging station. Before, we had computers, iPads, all the things, and we charged them all over the place. So once I got one of these charging stations and I got all the chargers in there, now we know exactly where our laptops and our iPads are. We know how to keep them charged at all times. And that little drawer with all those extra cords, it is right under here. So it works beautifully. These have been a favorite for years and years and years, and that is the Target Y-Weave plastic bins. Now, I highly recommend that you get these in a normal color, not one of their seasonal colors, and that you get all the same color. You don't want a seasonal color where in 6 months or a year you can't purchase it again. So I have only the gray ones. They come in so many different sizes. They're nice and modular, like many of the sizes are exactly the same depth and height, and I use them in different cabinets, laundry room storage, closets, kids' closets, all over the place. And it's super easy to go to Target and get more. And they're pretty affordable. Target also does a pretty good job of putting them on sale as much as 25% off on a fairly regular basis. So you can watch for sales as well. All right, we're at number 2 now. And number 2 is also a recent favorite. I got these less than a year ago. One of the biggest game-changing organizational purchases of my life, and those are the Tupperware modular mates. Now, these are the literal Tupperware brand Tupperware, okay? And these are the kinds of things that my actual grandma and mom used in their house. Like I literally have some from my grandma and my mom, and I grew up with these. And I don't know why I didn't think of using them in my own home. I was really obsessed with the beautiful OXO Instagram-y looking pantries, but the truth is that those things, first of all, the lids can easily come off, especially if you have dry goods like flour in there, and you can have some disasters. That's no fun. They're not truly airtight like Tupperware is. If I put crackers in there, Tupperware is going to keep them fresh for literally years. And thirdly, the Tupperware containers are completely modular and they maximize the space that I actually have. So they're the full depth of my upper cabinets, wasting no space, and I'm able to put so much more in them. And once I got these, I cannot tell you how much more stuff we fit in our pantry and how much I'm loving them. Even though the aesthetic is not perfect, they still look really nice. And another pro, these days they only have the same color lids, so you don't risk that the next time you buy one, it's gonna have a different color lid. That was a brilliant move if you ask me. I also have an entire video where I talk about how to find the best storage containers for your pantry, and I really go in depth showing how to use these and how they maximize your space. Now, number one will surprise no one who has been around for a while. It is the multi-purpose bin, but we do have a little bitty change here, okay? So a few years ago, the only place you could find these things was at the Container Store. The Container Store made them, but within the last year or two, Target has come out with an almost exact dupe for every size of them, which is amazing. So I use these interchangeably. Now, when I say multi-purpose bins, I mean either the ones from the Container Store or the ones from Target. I have an entire video where I compare the two in depth. They are almost literally interchangeable. There are a few small differences. And so it doesn't really matter which kind you have. Also, cost is a very interesting thing here. So every size at both stores is a different price, and most of them are a little bit cheaper at Target, but not all of them. So the price is kind of a toss-up. However, the reason I prefer Target is for most people, myself included, it is way easier to go to Target and buy them. I have a Target less than a mile from my home, so I can just go in there and get more at any given time, whereas the Container Store is further away, it's harder to get them. So for that reason alone, I would probably go for Target. And as with anything, both the Target and the Container Store do have sales, so you could watch for a sale. If I were buying these again today, I would stick with only Targets simply for how easy they are to get. And I think that even if you were paying full price, they are slightly cheaper. Now, you can use these for absolutely anything under the sun. I have used them for well over 10 years, which is why I love them so much. So you can use them garage, pantries, cars, closets, under sinks. I like how tall the sides are, which helps them contain so many things, but because they're open topped, it's easy to grab them. And the fact that they come in 4 different sizes is really, really handy. Remember, these were just my top 20 favorites. If you want my 20 additional favorites, go ahead and click that link down below and I will send you my completely free best products for organizing guide. It's packed with links, pictures, one handy place with everything I talked about today, plus my other 20 top picks.